So should you be feeding this questionable looking bone soup? Got these little globules of fat in it. This is bone broth. It looks like this when you turn it into a soup. Should you be feeding it to your dogs or cats? Is it really so good for the joints, the skin, the intestinal tract? Like, does it live up to the hype? We're going to explore it all in this video, and I'm going to show you how to make simple, inexpensive bone broth at home. Are you looking to learn more about natural pet health and wellness? You've come to the right place. Click the link to subscribe to Veterinary Secrets. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Andrew Jones, and I'm here to help you make informed decisions for your pets. My little sidekick today, this is our new cat Cassian. We're going to see if he likes bone broth. So to make bone broth, it's actually pretty simple. So it's going to include nutrients that are found in bone. You've got what's in the marrow, tendon, the ligaments, you got parts of the cartilage. All of that stuff, all those many specific nutrients are going to be in this. So what are some of the things bone broth can do? So by boiling up this bone, it includes glucosamine, it includes chondroitin, it includes collagen, it includes hyaluronic acid. Those are nutrients that have been specifically studied to help your pet's musculoskeletal system. So you've got part of the components that make up cartilage. What can that do? It can help rebuild some of your dog or cat's lost cartilage and arthritis. Some of the components that make up ligaments and tendons help repair some of these injured ligaments and tendons. So yes, it's got ingredients to help your pet's joint health. Number 2, it can aid digestion and help for gut healing. Because you've boiled up these bones for somewhere between 12 to 24 hours, and you've included things like the soft tissue in terms of the ligaments, the tendons, even the bones itself, you're going to cause all these nutrients to eventually make their way into that water, into the broth that we're feeding to your pets. So it's rich in things. Number 1, gelatin. Think about gelatin. Anytime you make jello, how do they make gelatin? They get bones, they get cartilage, ligaments, tendon. You boil that up long enough, what comes into it? You get gelatin. Secondary, you get key amino acids, which are really important for gut health. Glycine and glutamine, those are found in the connective tissue again, the cartilage, ligaments, and tendons. So the gelatin, the glycine, the glutamine, those 3 in particular are really important for intestinal health. And if you have a dog or cat that's ongoing gastrointestinal issues, i.e. chronic diarrhea, for instance, maybe they have inflammatory bowel disease. So they have all this gut inflammation. So in that case, you're wanting to provide nutrients to potentially decrease that gut inflammation. And some of the key nutrients that can do that include gelatin, include the glycine, include the glutamine. So that's why many pet parents are finding when they start feeding bone broth, especially the animals that have chronic GI issues, they start to markedly improve. Right, kitty cat. Number 3, boosting your pet's immune system. Some of the nutrients in bone broth, the amino acids, glycine, glutamine, even proline. A really important mineral for immune support, zinc. All of those are found in bone broth. So for instance, about a year ago, a little less than that, I decided to go off a bike jump, fractured my collarbone. Not the wisest choice. But when you start looking in some of the background research around what is a specific nutrient which can potentially speed bone healing, the number one that comes up is zinc. So yeah, and there's a fair amount of zinc in bone broth. So that alone is one key mineral which can help with speeding healing, helping support your dog or cat's immune system. Then you've got some of these other amino acids such as glutamine, glycine, proline. All of those can also play a key role in helping support the immune response. Then secondarily, you're supporting other body systems, which then means you've got a much better immune response. A big part of your dog or cat's immune system resides in the intestinal tract. Better intestinal health, better immune health. Secondarily, let's look at the main organ which filters most of the blood, deals with many of the toxins in the body, the liver. One of the amino acids which can play a big role in improving liver function, ensure the liver functions optimally, is glycine. You know, there's a substantial amount of glycine within bone broth. So because all those nutrients are within bone broth, number 1, specifically targeting the immune system, i.e. things like zinc, then secondarily supporting some of the other body systems, i.e. the gut, i.e. the liver, you can really help your dog or cat's immune response. Number 4, skin and coat health. A big part of what's in bone broth, we boiled up the ligaments, the tendons, all that connective tissue. It is collagen. Collagen, it's the most abundant protein in the body. What's the biggest organ in the body? It's the skin. So if you provide some of the building blocks that make up the skin, i.e. collagen, you can potentially improve skin health. So that's how bone broth can help the skin. And if we have animals with ongoing skin disease, i.e. allergies, chronic licking, chronic scratching, recurring ear infection. Because what we know is one of the big underlying causes of environmental allergy is that there's a breakdown in the skin barrier. Allergens can penetrate in through the skin, and that's what triggers that itch-scratch cycle. So if you have a stronger skin barrier, essentially that's it. You're getting it at the root cause. You don't have to look at some of these other immunosuppressive drugs, etc. So yes, in that instance, that's how bone broth could potentially help your dog or cat that has underlying skin disease. But in practice, is that something that we see? Like, do I see a marked improvement in animals when they have allergies and they have been on bone broth and they go on bone broth? Usually not, but it has helped some animals. Number 5, it can help with hydration. It can also be an appetite stimulant. Imagine you have an animal that is not eating. Saw this so often in veterinary practice. These guys are sick. Maybe they've got underlying liver disease, for instance. One of the most important things is getting your dog or cat to start eating again. So for many animals, they really like the taste of bone broth. So you can add that on as a topper. Say you've got some type of specific home diet. Say you've got a cat with kidney disease. They're not eating the specific kidney diet. You can add on the bone broth as a topper. In many cases, that'll get them to eat it. And then one of the other big benefits is additional hydration. So for instance, with many of our cats, one of our big concerns is underlying urinary tract disease. And one of the most important things to prevent that is keeping them adequately hydrated. So just adding in some of that bone broth is giving them some extra fluid. So it's got 2 big important benefits there that take away all the health things. If you can get a sick dog or cat to start eating again using bone broth, that alone makes it really beneficial. So what are the cons about this stuff? It's not all good, right? Well, number 1, there is limited research on it. This means the bulk of the reports, what we're seeing is anecdotal in terms of it's coming from pet parents, potentially like yourselves, who are using it. There's not a whole lot of studies supporting it. Number 2, the ingredients are really important. So this here, the one from Open Farm, is a pet-specific bone broth. First I thought, okay, I'm just going to go to my local co-op. I'll grab some pre-made bone broth, thinking that's good. But the problem is most of the broth that's made for us, people, it includes things such as onions. And you do not want to be feeding your dog or your cat onions. So because of that, you've got to really look at those ingredients because there are other things in the broth to give it added nutritional value, but you want to make sure it's not for people because it may include onions, which are potentially toxic to our pets. Number 3, the fat content can be pretty fatty. And if you look at this here, see those globules in the bottom? And if the bone broth is not made correctly, in terms of someone hasn't gone ahead and filtered it properly, skimmed off that top fat layer, potentially contain too much fat. So that could easily trigger things like pancreatitis in our dogs and cats, which is the last thing you want. So you could get a commercial bone broth like this where they've done all those things. They've filtered it properly. They've skimmed off the fat. It's not going to cause pancreatitis. Or you make it yourself, but you do it correctly, where it simmers for about 12 to 24 hours, sits in the fridge overnight. You fully strain it. So you're removing all the solid parts. You're not feeding these cooked bones, and you skim the fat off the top. Number 4, it has a pretty short shelf life. Even on this commercial one I got from the store this morning, it says serve cool or warm, but not hot. Refrigerate for up to 7 days after opening. So there's a way to get it to last longer. You can pour it into little ice cubes and freeze it, and then it keeps safely for months. Number 5, I don't know if this is a complaint or not, but this is not a complete meal. Yes, there's some protein, there's a whole bunch of good nutrients in it, but you still have to feed something else to ensure your dog or cat has adequate nutrition. So you need to think of it as a topper. You're supplementing your dog or cat's food, giving them some pretty important nutrients which potentially really can help their joints, help their skin, help their guts. So then how do you safely use this? Give it to your dog or cat? Well, number 1, you can get a commercial version like I've got here. You don't have to worry about appropriate amount of fat, cooking it, etc. Although, you're paying for it. This is about $20. But you're just starting with a small amount. as little as 1 tablespoon per 10 pounds daily. Cassian, our star cat, he is about 10 pounds. There's your measured amount, Cassian. And that's what we get for a full day. There, kitty cat. Yummy, yummy bone broth. So good for you. If you were wanting to make this at home, I'm going to do a follow-up video showing exactly what to do, but I'll just quickly summarize what you need to do. Number 1, you're starting out with some beef bones. I'd say about 2 pounds. That would be about 4 medium-sized bones. Then you're going to add enough water to fully cover the bones, somewhere between 4 to 8 cups. Then simmer that on the stove, somewhere between 12 to 24 hours. Then you can add in additional ingredients to improve the nutritional quality of it, make it tastier. Celery, 2 small stalks or 1 large stalk. Chop up a carrot, add that in. Add in 1 teaspoon of turmeric. It contains 95% curcumin, that wonderful natural anti-inflammatory. And then for its antibacterial, immune supporting properties, I'd also suggest adding in 1 garlic clove. Crush it and add that in to your bone broth mixture. After 12 to 24 hours, you're going to be putting that into the fridge, let it cool overnight. Then you're going to fully strain it, getting rid of all those bones. And the last thing you're going to do is scoop off that layer of the fat on the surface. So yeah, I really think this stuff, bone broth, could be a good way to improve the quality of your dog or cat's diet. As long as you're taking some precautions. Number 1, you're ensuring that it's made properly. It's not too high in fat. It doesn't include additional things such as onions. And then if it's a commercial bone broth, get one that's made for pets. This one here from Open Farm. If it's a human one, just make sure it doesn't include additional things like excess salt or even onions. You take all those points in mind, I think you can successfully feed bone broth to your dogs or cats. And if you do so, I'd love to hear your feedback. Like, did your dog or cat like it? And has it helped? Like, does their intestinal tract seem a little bit better? Are they a little less lame? If so, I'd love to know. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets of Bone Broth for our dogs and cats. Click up there to subscribe, hit the bell to sign up for notifications, and when you click that link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book.